is this set still worth it? We're going to be talking about Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. Now, this is set number 75401. We're going to be comparing it to Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. I do have Anakin's, but it's the previous version that looks nothing like these two. So we're going to focus on just Obi-Wan's.
Kenobi.
So with that being said, let's get started. Here we have the minifigures first. So with Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor, I'm not going to focus so much on the astromech droids because I really care more about the Jedi minifigures versus the astromech droids. If I offended any astromech fans, I'm so sorry. So here we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now his minifigure, for the printing they gave him, I like it. I'm a big fan of this. The build itself, you're going to notice some of the differences here. So first off, we're going to look at the dimensions. Now the size of these is pretty similar. There's a little bit of some structural differences that we're going to be talking about. So looking at the cockpit itself, with Ahsoka's, when you lift this piece here versus when you lift Obi-Wan's, this piece stays like it does in the films and shows. So that is one of the big differences there. The cockpit itself has, this one with Kenobi's, this has a little bit more of a, it looks more comfortable for the Lego minifigure. It does have a sticker sheet there for the panels, the control panels. It has a little bit more of a seat compared to this. So that is one of the small differences. The outer part of the Jedi Interceptors are very similar with these two pieces here, given that it's been quite some time. That is something that is similar in what they decided. I don't really have a strong critique of that because if it works, why change it unless it's something that needs to be changed. Now, when we look at these pieces here, these are a lot longer than this piece here. And if we look at the sides, here we have these hilts versus what we have here. They're a little more hidden. They're a little more cleaned up. So I do like and appreciate those two little details there. The cockpit itself is printed as well. It's pretty clean. It doesn't match in terms of the colors. That is not the same, but for somebody who, if you're not somebody who really nitpicks those details, most people, I would say, unless they're big Lego Star Wars fans, and even then, might not even notice those kinds of things. If we look at the bottom of the build for both of these sets, we have a place for you to put your lightsaber here. We have another spot for Obi-Wan's, not Obi-Wan's, we have another spot for Anakin's lightsaber. You can put that there. This set has this piece here where we can move these. I do appreciate that when it comes to putting it on the shelf, because there's times where I don't necessarily want it to be in this position. And I know it looks like a small thing, but it's not when I have other stuff I want to put on the shelf. When it comes to this one, it isn't a fixed position. So there are those small differences there. This does have a little bit more of a swoosh. It feels more rigid. It feels sturdy compared to this one. If you're not careful, you'll pinch your finger on here. So that's something I ended up doing earlier. You notice that the difference in the back as well. It's very, doesn't look as polished to me compared to this. So those are some of the differences between the two sets. So here's what I have to say about the price. The price is a lot for this set, and that's something that a lot of people who buy Lego are commenting on. That is something I heard a lot when I worked at the Lego store, and people came in, and that's something that was a common talking point, was talking about the price. But for me, the justification for purchasing this set is not just to make this video. It's also because if I were to try and buy this set, whether it's used or in the box, especially in the box, it is quite expensive, and it's an older set. So for nostalgia purposes, I will love this set for that reason. When it comes to the build, the structure, and what I'm getting, I prefer this build. It's a more modern take on the build, and as we've seen with some of the new releases, that's not always a good thing, but in this case, I actually do like this. When it comes to the price point of this set, it is much cheaper for me to buy this set than to try and buy this set, or Anakin set, which goes for $109 if I remember. So that is something to think about. That is something that I use when I try and justify these Lego purchases. This set is currently on sale depending on what retail store is near you, so make sure you always check those out. as well. With that being said, I think this set is still worth purchasing because of those reasons. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.